welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host, John, better known as Dale. We're on Yak Ben, and we have a fantastic show for you. Halloween approaches, ArenaNet participation in Extra Life 2018, and the systems team on Guild Chat, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion and host of Zero to Hero on this very channel, and also Vote to Kick. That's going to get longer and longer. He has been waiting all year for the Halloween event, and he is ready to forge a path of destruction to farm some of the new items. Say hello to Jim.
Okay, the unmute and Zoom works.
Oh, I was like...
Yeah, it's like clicking it 3 or 4 times. I don't know. Hi, everybody. I don't know about Path of Destruction. They might have to update the Labyrinth for that, but I'm game for some Halloween stuff.
Up the spawn rate. Skeletons just fill the place.
Orion, release or spawn rate.
Yeah. Oh, that would be horrible with that, Lich, was it the Lich guy or something?
Do it.
Oh.
Skeletons forever.
Oof. No, thank you. Well, like we're saying, there is actually, Halloween is coming from October 16th through November 6th. They say King Oswald Thorne's cruel laughter will fill the air as Halloween returns to Tyria. Play wicked games, tackle the Mad King's clock tower, go trick-or-treating in the labyrinth, and more. And basically, they also teased us with Reaper's Rumble has actually returned, and I don't think that's been...
Is that the mobile one that you guys told me about on year 1?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, that was the kind of MOBA-esque... yeah, it was the MOBA-esque one in the... I think it was in a completely different map. I don't even think it was in, like, the Labyrinth or anything like that, if chat may remember better than I do, but ooh, I like that idea. Make 4 legendary bosses, 1 in each corner.
Well, I like Mithrin's other idea. Bonus DPS and magic find effect after killing the bosses, like Pac-Man. So they're the power pills.
That would be pretty awesome.
I like, as much as I like the Labyrinth, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing it updated a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just with all the new tech that they've gotten, it would be cool to see updates to it. But Reaper's Rumble, and now there's a Mad King's Raceway. Like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, I didn't even get to that. Was they added, of course, more for the Mad King's Raceway. So I think they had one, like, kind of a race going around the labyrinth. But yeah, this with the roller beetle, it sounds like, is this a completely separate map? I mean, I don't think they really...
There was no raceway. There was no Mad King's Raceway last year. I know that much.
I wasn't sure if that's what the event was called or not. They're
making it sound like it's a whole new zone.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of curious if... But it definitely sounds intriguing. A lot of new stuff. I wonder... I mean, we're getting Reaper's Rumble back. I wonder if we're also get all the previous stories, or maybe this will hopefully lead us into maybe next year getting all previous stories. Hopefully getting somewhat closer to that, because that's the other shame on like Halloween's had some pretty good story, like with the Prince
Bloody Prince Thorn.
Yeah, but
yeah, I didn't get to finish it the last time it was available, which I think was right before Heart of Thorns dropped. Which I was kind of disappointed that I didn't finish that.
Mm-hmm.
But look, if they can keep adding more into it. Oh yeah, and then roller beetle racing for the New Year's festival. Yeah, like I can imagine them coming up with that.
Yeah,
actually,
hopefully
put it in the Queen's Pavilion in the area beneath it.
Well, I think he's talking about for what was it, Lunar New Year. That's where we had beetle racing, since it was a Canthan thing originally. So
the Queen's Pavilion was originally the Canthan district.
Yeah,
would be the place to put it.
But okay, Chad is saying that it looks like the Mad King's Raceway is just a copy of Reaper's Rumble map, but for the beetle race. So, hey, I'm not complaining about that. That's awesome.
Nope.
Um, but also there, before we get to maybe some of the new stuff, because they kind of gave us a little press pack thing on the blog post, and it has a couple screenshots. But before we get to that, they also do mention if you are dressing up for the holidays in game, they would like you to, if you want to, go on Twitter and share screenshots of your costumes on your characters using the hashtag GW2 costume party. So definitely show those off if you got some. I mean, come on, Fashion Wars.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
Driving force of this game, Fashion Wars.
exactly. And you know, like we said, maybe your outfit's not quite there. Maybe you just need a couple more gruesome little things, which hopefully maybe these things will suffice. But like I said, this is from the like kind of little like press package thing they gave. So it looks like we get a couple of different mini pets, but also you can see like on this screenshot a syringe dagger looking thing that's new on the what looks like a warrior type person, a kind of cleaver, and I'm assuming it's going to be an axe. Maybe it's a sword. I don't know if, but on that one, and I think there was another screenshot of what was the other thing. But I what also looks like is a new beetle skin, a roller beetle skin. But yeah, that's what I was wondering too. What Chad is bringing up is you'll notice in some of the screenshots, like some of them will have red on, or a red aura or a blue aura. And I was starting to think, was like, is that something like an effect that we can get? Because, you know, they like playing with the auras now more so. But they do bring up a good point that might just be a PvP thing, like for Reaper's Rumble or something like that. So
that roller beetle looks so cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh, it's on that person and it has the blue aura. It looks like another. I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of hard to see in their left hand, I think. But
it looked like they either were doing a spell effect or if it was like just a hand, like a fog, like a focus or something. That was kind of cool. It's a boss aura from Guild Wars 1.
Okay. Oh, yeah. If you had the, well, that was based off of, wasn't that based off of the profession they were?
Yeah, but still, it's just a shading for the character. Like that's a good way to denote allies and enemies quickly.
But yeah,
it's basically what they end up doing for PvP.
They
change a lot of the character shading.
I am like the beetle, especially with the new mastery skill, the more endurance. Might like just from the looks of that mount alone, this might be one of the ones I pick up, depending. But we'll see. But yeah, so look forward to those, and like I said, I'm excited that they're finally bringing Reaper's Rumble back, and I'm glad that ththey're now going back to the festivals. Like, I mean, when they made you know, they actually made SAB a festival, and they were able to bring that back, and it's like now they're adding the kind of old content that people haven't, if you weren't here for like year one, basically you didn't get a chance to see. So
well, now that it's just they've got a system for it to just recur whenever they flip a switch, it will probably be a fair bit easier for them to add new content to it. So I'm looking forward to more and more of this as the years go on.
Flip a switch, like all the dev. That's all his switches, right?
Well, you break it all down, it's all ones and zeros, man.
True. So it's just an elaborate set of switches.
It's an incredibly elaborate set of switches.
I need to flick this switch, but unfortunately, when this switch is on, it doesn't let that switch work, and then that switch won't affect this. So
it's a giant control panel, and you have to hit the right buttons.
Well, hopefully they figure it out soon, because like we said, this thing starts October 16th. So, and I think that will mean, remember, you'll be able to pick another. I think it's another set for free of like the Mad King special armor that you're kind of seeing displayed on these other characters here. I think you were able to craft the other two, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a lot of materials. But I think you got to pick one for free when you complete like the meta achievement.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that'll carry over this year as well, which, that's nice. Also, I remember last year we still have the, you can kind of tell from that mini pet, that like melty candle thing. We still have like all those weapons that were like the candle looking weapons, or the ghostly candle. I forget what they're called, but.
Oh, the achievements for the armor are not yearly.
Okay. Bummer.
So you just get the one set for free and you have to craft everything else.
Just like last update's armor, and then we don't know how that worked out.
Well, last update's armor is we're probably going to get another, because the birthday armor. Oh, you're talking about the
the elegy stuff that.
I haven't gotten there yet. I got the story, but I didn't get to the.
Oh, well, it's not really conducive to the story, so. But my bad. Apparently it's not yearly, so you ain't getting a new one. You cheapskates, including me.
Can't get everything for free, Dale.
True. Sometimes you gotta put effort in, or give a little so you can feel better about yourself. Speaking of giving a little, yeah. ArenaNet is doing Extra Life 2018 this year. It'd be weird if they did 2018 last year. But last year they did raise $16,550 to benefit Children's Miracle Network, and ArenaNet matched it for a grand total of $33,110. So this year, from noon Pacific on Friday, November 2nd, until noon Pacific on Saturday, November 3rd, you can join them on the Guild Wars 2 official Twitch channel as they stream gameplay live from the ArenaNet studio. For part of the event, they will also be featured on the official Extra Life Twitch channel. So awesome. They'll be doing giveaways, surprises, all kinds of stuff. I think wasn't it last year where they were shaving people's heads? So who knows what's going to happen.
No, Joko's gone, QED. He's gone. You have to let him go.
Without mentioning Joko's return, Joko ain't returning.
It's fertilizer.
Yes, Joko is fertilizer.
Yeah.
Just like Abaddon, never coming back.
Well, let's not push it. One's a god and one thinks they're a god. And don't you dare chat say one thinks they're a god that would make me mad.
Well, it's kind of hard for Abaddon to think now that he's gone.
Not gone. You don't think magical dragons poop? Everybody poops. I don't know. Is that one of the books you can collect in the new Living Story? Because I know there's a couple. What?
So it's great that they're raising all this money for Extra Life.
Yeah. Maybe they'll answer some of these hard-hitting lore questions. Do mythical dragons poop? If you donate enough.
Oh my God! I feel like somebody's gonna throw they're gonna have the bot in with the donation, so like you get the standard streamer pop up of like, hey, so and so donated X amount of money, and then they do the little thing. It's like, do elder dragons poop?
Oh, because he's mentioning the people that you can delve into the ancient rivalry between Mad King Thorn and Palawa Joko through a new collection achievement. Yeah, there was the Joko feud last time too, and it didn't involve Joko either. It involved his Awakened, so it might still involve his Awakened.
I'm honestly just expecting it to either be mist-based flashbacks or just finding books.
Especially since it's a collection.
Because honestly, if they have Joko back, if they don't have the voice actor for him, I don't think they should have put him into it. Because that's like half the character right there.
Yeah, and what I think would even be funny is, since Mad King might be happy that now, supposedly Joko's off.
Well, that's why Reaper's Rumble is back, clearly. He's rewarding us.
Well, it's like, what if he makes you want to, like, he sends you off to, like, get some of his stuff, like, as, like, trophies to be like, haha, I beat you, I'm better than you type thing, or...
Clearly, they like me better than you.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't killed me yet. Well, we've tried.
Yes, but we always try to kill him in his own realm. It doesn't work like that.
I'm hoping that whatever may be left of Joko, a soul, memories in the mist, or whatever, ends up trapped in the MAAD realm, Mad King's last laugh. Oh, if I would really hope that's not led to a collection and like more like continuing the Mad King story stuff that, you know, we can't play the old stuff of. Like, I would like to see kind of something like that, where, like you're saying, if whatever's left of him, or how, you know, how did the whole, I'm trying to think of how the whole Mersat, you know, the Lazarus thing, was his ashes actually in that device or something, and they resummoned him? Like, what if you could pull their essence from it, and he wants you basically to collect his personal belongings so he can summon a version of him to maybe torture him, because Mad King's crazy.
Wants us to summon. So you're speculating that we're going to summon a mist echo of Palawa Joko in order for the Mad King to torment him.
Yes. Doesn't that sound Mad Kingish? What'd she say? Or I didn't.
She just laughed.
Oh.
Which I think is a fitting response to it.
That would be really cool for Halloween if they brought back like, all the dead characters and the bad ones were stuck in the labyrinth being tortured by Mad King Thorin.
Yeah, what if it's that? What if we update like the labyrinth or something, and you actually have to like in the center actually fight Joko, a version of like this fake version of Joko,
or they just have arguments in the sky like
Mad King third head of Joko, and they're just like all.
This is getting a little out of hand though, because this is wish fulfillment.
We have not much else to talk about.
That's fair.
So
they're raising money for Children's Miracle Network.
Yes. Boy, this timestamp's going to be horrible.
$33,000. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And, you know, it's a good cause. And, you know, they also go on to state, you know, you can join the ArenaNet team or donate to help out. If you are participating in Extra Life, they'd love to have you on their team. Visit the Team ArenaNet page to join or to make a donation towards their goal. And you can also make your own ArenaNet sub-team. They said this year they've partnered with Extra Life as a super team, which is a large team made up of many smaller teams. So basically, you can create your own team and register as a Team ArenaNet sub-team. All the funds raised by your sub-team will count towards the super team's grand total. So, but yeah, that's, you know, awesome. I hope, you know, hope they knock it out of the park. I hope they just like raised at least 33,000 themselves instead of, you know, the last time they raised 16,000 and then they matched it. So, yeah, but you know, it's good cause. It helps local hospitals, and I know if you make your own or if you sign up for them, but I know if you make your own group, you can actually pick one of like a local hospital in your area or something like that that's part of that network. So if you want to make it more, you know, personal, closer to home type thing, you know, so even if you're not going to be a part of the ArenaNet team and you want to do this, go for it. Even if it's $3, even if it's $5, that's 500. Who, you know, if it's none, you tried, you were doing what you were enjoying yourself. But, you know, every little bit helps. But yeah, any other thoughts on the Extra Life 2018 or ArenaNet's team?
I hope that they beat their previous goal or their previous total. It's always nice to see stuff like that go up.
Yep. Well, I mean, you know, they have things, all like interesting things, you know, surprises and giveaways. You'd think they would really need that planned out, like systematically. What? Speaking of systematically and systems, the systems team on was on Guild Chat this week.
It's a good thing I don't have my glasses. It's easier to facepalm.
So this week, on Guild Chat, they had I'm blanking on the names now, and I feel bad about it. I know it was Carl McLean. Is it what's her name? I forget her name, but I'm forgetting the other two people's. I do apologize. I didn't write them down when I was watching it.
Damn it, Dale.
Teddy Croft? Jessica Croft? I'm blanking on the first name. Maybe Chad can help me. And I'm totally blanking on the third, and I do apologize.
Some news team we are.
Yeah. Well, I don't judge people just on their names. It's the content that they bring, man. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, they were basically talking like typical day, and it's kind of interesting because, and I could also see kind of Carl slightly hesitant on saying it. Like they're like, oh, we kind of start the day of checking, the forums, Reddit, and stuff like that. And I was waiting for chat to explode, being like, then why don't you change all the stuff that we asked for?
QED, hold the wing it joke for Gem Store. Raymond Lukes, Jessica Croft, and Carl McLean.
Jessica Croft, okay. I thought it was Jessica. But yeah, so definitely, I would definitely check it out. It's a nice little interesting look at, because this is basically like a catch-all team. Like they kind of bounce around to the other teams when they need help with certain things. So it's definitely kind of interesting. It's almost like the duct tape of the dev groups.
They have to be both duct tape and WD-40.
Yes.
Because if it moves and it's not supposed to, duct tape. If it doesn't move and it's supposed to, WD-40.
Mm. And it is like they talk about some of the challenges of it. Is like, you're kind of going in there, but you're trying to fix something, but you also have to be kind of respectable of the thing, because who knows, like you said with dev stuff, it's like, and what we talk about all the time, you're going in, it's like, hey, fix this one thing. They can't just go, okay, we have fixed it, and here you go, here's it back. It's like, well, you just broke everything around it.
Yep.
Like they have to also be like, well, let's make sure this doesn't, destroy the world.
It's honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do as a developer, is to go into a system and streamline it. Like I actually really enjoy getting code that I did not write and refactoring it, because it's a puzzle and you have to make it more efficient. But at the same time, it's probably one of the hardest things to do, especially with something that is live. So you have to sit there and make sure that the input, like you can't change what the input is, and the output has an expected outcome. And you have to make sure everything in between is both better and does the same thing for the result. And it's more difficult than it seems.
Chat saying just practice with Jenga. That I mean, I can tell you that's how you get a job at ArenaNet. Your interview, it's just a towering Jenga structure, and it's just sitting on the interview table. I just made that up.
That actually wouldn't be terrible to have while you're doing an interview.
Yeah, but would you be brave enough to beat the person that's interviewing you in Jenga? Like,
yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know a lot of people probably be like, well, I can't beat the interviewer.
Look, they challenged me, okay?
What if you brought your own Jenga to an interview? I don't know where we're going with this, but...
Yeah, I don't know either.
There you go. Jenga and Tetris should be part of elementary school curriculum.
Look, no. Tetris is applicable in real life. How do you think me and all of my friends learned how to move? How do you think we fill moving trucks with stuff?
Oh, I was
Tetris.
Like, you learned how to move. You're just like, nah, 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 nah. I was like, Space Invaders would probably have been better off, but
yeah,
no. Moving actual moving stuff, yes.
Yeah. No, that's a skill.
Yeah, I know.
Think it, but it is.
That would be going off a tangent, but remind me, I have a story about that. Jeez, one of my friends that I will never help move again.
Oh dear. Okay, we'll get to that in after show.
But yeah, that's why you guys show up live, to hear stories of that random stuff. But it's a nice behind the scenes look. I know we always say that about the guild chats, but I think this one's really nice because it covers it's specific, but it covers everything. So it's specific but general. It's specific to the team, but the team it overlaps yeah.
See, and you say that it's a look behind the scenes, and I will say it before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Coming from World of Warcraft, where the devs used to tweet themselves and post themselves on the forums, there is now just a Warcraft devs account on Twitter. And it's not anywhere near as interesting. Like Riot Games for League of Legends, the Rioters all talk on Twitter about stuff. They talk on the forums about stuff from their own accounts. Being able to hear from individuals on the development team of Guild Wars 2 is amazing. Instead of just this sterilized like PR account that's a front for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad that they still go that approach, because it was a sad thing. I wasn't really playing WoW when they made that change, but I understood like kind of the sadness of it's like, oh, they're basically not allowed to have a voice. Like,
yeah,
which kind of... I know that's maybe opening a can of worms of past things of, you know. But let's not go down that road. No. But what was kind of interesting was during the guild chat, you know, they kind of start talking about, you know, balance and kind of the player versus player and world versus world. And they were kind of hinting at that there's going to be a balance patch soonish. And that's going to be coupled with a nice quality of life world v world thing that all they really were saying was this is something that's been suggested. It's a quality of life change. So it's not like, here's the alliance system that we like. It's not going to be that. They did briefly mention like how they're working on it, and it's just a lot of cool tech is going into it. But yeah, it's not going to be that.
I very much want them to just be like, oh yeah, a little update today. By the way, here's the alliance system.
Oh my God. Okay, granted, ArenaNet is one of those types of devs that would play that kind of a joke, and I wouldn't be mad about that. So for what we know right now, it's just a nice little quality of life, yes. But I wouldn't be angry about it.
Well, I just think it would be hilarious for them to drop such a massive change to the game without really saying anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, more balance patches, more quality of life stuff.
Yeah, yes. Definitely awesome. Can't wait to actually hear maybe a little bit more about that, because like they said, they made it sound like it was a couple weeks out. So don't expect it here, you know, maybe expect it in like November, December type thing.
And Age is live editing his the show notes from work.
Huh.
See, we were talking about it in the pre-show. He's doing it for us during the show.
Yeah. Age, if you can hear us, write in a joke. Look, everybody was like, oh, we needed to start Halloween early. Look, it's the ghost of Age, spooky.
If only you actually had the show notes like in view.
Yeah.
But
chat's saying probably a week before next PvP season starts. That would probably a good time frame for it, I would imagine, if they're going to go with how they normally do it.
I don't know.
And I saw how chat was also saying, you know, some of the stuff that's been asked is Mounts in Warrior World, Monuments in Alpine, third Green Borderlands map, which that one might not be a quality of life. So
third Green Borderlands?
Well, I think since we have, you know, it's kind of, you have the desert and then the two Alpine.
Oh, so like a third biome, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Eh,
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I would like to see, like, I think we've talked about this in the past, where if there was mounts in World v World, I could see them introducing a World v World specific mount.
yeah, like kind of like gliding in WvW is specifically a WvW style gliding. It doesn't make use of a
Yeah.
lot of the masteries in the core game.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the only way to control it that well as gliding is, because, you know, if you're going to introduce mounts to World v World and use the original, you know, PvE mounts, you're basically not going to be able to use any of the abilities, which would make it just feel like mounts in any other game, which they're
Right.
trying to avoid.
It would have to be an explicitly WvW kind of thing. So,
Well, you say mounts in World v World make absolutely no sense at all. I mean, how so? I mean, mounts didn't really make sense before until they added them. I mean,
deleted for tactics QED, or is this
well,
an
first
after-show
off, can I just
discussion?
say there aren't really tactics in World v World? I mean, it's a merry-go-round. I've said that before. I'm hoping the alliance thing and the tweaks they make it a lot better, because World v World, at least for me, and I know that's going to anger people, is one of the most boring things I've ever played.
I'll admit, if you're not involved in making actual tactical decisions in WvW, it's just fighting and waiting.
Well, I'll also say they favor the blobs. Like, they've kind of made it more about the participation, and you don't really defend things. People rely too much on righteous indignation. That's the worst mechanic ever. I hate it. Please, if you're relooking at making this kind of stuff, I'm not saying the ESO's Cyrodiil thing's perfect, but I like the idea of it enhances the idea of defending things, because if you take a keep, they'll spawn back, but they don't have a buff on them that keeps them protected. Like, you got to defend the keep. You got to drive the people out, not just Zerg the end boss guy and take over the tower. It's like you can't ninja loot a place.
One of the things that kind of always bugged me is that it's like a tower gets weaker as time goes on because righteous indignation falls off unless it's upgraded. But even then, it's like I've gone into groups where even reinforced walls are dead in a matter of a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel like investing in defenses really is worth anything. So it's like everything's designed to just be flipped whenever, and people will only go to defend at certain points in time. And
yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's simulating an actual war.
Yeah, so. No, I agree. Like, it really only seems like people will flip things. Like, and I've seen people pass up things because of that righteous indignation. It's like, or it's not up, and it's like, you know, they're like, oh, well, we'll try to wait a couple minutes because.
So you could flip it so that RI protects it for the tick.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the? I'm like, this is the, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm playing a mobile game instead of playing, you know.
It's like you go and you tap on the thing just to restart the timer on it.
You're playing with timers, and you're not actually playing world versus world, like a one world versus another world.
Honestly, that's kind of one of the things I kind of wish that there was more upgrading. If you flip a tier 3 tower within a minute, that means you've at least 50 plus people wasting a lot of supplies. I don't know, man. Like, see, I don't know the mechanics of it because I don't.
Yeah, but how many people upgrade tower? Like, well, I know a lot of the servers where they're just like, leave it to its thing. It's like you're just there for the tick. So if you time it right, which is what people try to do, you know, they'll just be like, we have it for the tick. We don't care if we lose it, and we'll get it back hopefully before the tick. It's like,
I honestly still think we need to be able to invest in NPCs. Like, I think guards need to be able to be made more powerful. Because really, like, I've never felt any kind of fear. Like, not even the Stonemist Castle Lord. That's just a sponge. literally just an objective to play around. Like, the only time any fight has ever been interesting in Stone Mist Castle has been when it's been two worlds fighting over capping it. If your Zorg's on tier 3 tower, it opens up. So basically you're saying that the Zorg spending time on a T3 tower means they're, but that's the thing, is it takes just as much time to flip the tier 3 tower. Like, I'm saying that I have flipped multiple different towers in the same amount of time, regardless of their upgrade level.
Yeah.
Like, it did not feel like there was a difference in attacking a tower, regardless of what level it was at.
Yeah, it's like, what I think you're asking is like, what are you upgrading in the tower? It's like, if the walls are feeling like they fall at the same time, like same amount of effort, what did I just spend supplies on? Like,
That's basically it.
I don't know. I really hope we see that kind of stuff in the rework or something along those lines. Because while I like the aesthetic and gameplay of Guild Wars 2, if someone comes to me and says we can either play Guild Wars 2 World vs. World and ESO Cyrodiil, if they can promise the same amount of population, like playing wise, I would go into ESO's Cyrodiil every time, because it feels more like a battle and it feels like there's higher stakes than War v World. At least when I play War v World, like, it just seems like I see numbers ticking up. Okay, we're in first. Oh, we're in,
I don't know. Like, it when I talk about upgrading NPCs, I'm not talking about making the towers defend themselves, basically. But I feel like they should be able to, like, the NPC should be able to hold out at least a little bit until you have time to respond to something being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I honestly think that the map needs better information outputs. Like, oh, hey, there's crossed swords on a keep. That could mean that, a ranger sicked his pet on the door.
Yeah.
As he was passing, just to confuse people. So,
yeah, I'm not sure how ESO's Cyrodiil does it, is because I know it has a mechanic like that because you basically can teleport to any of the things until it's attacked, but I think it's after a certain threshold or something, but I don't know at what point. Because I know it has that issue as well. I've heard some people say it's like, oh, it's a small group that's attacking that's messing with it, or
yeah, like, even if you could mouse over an objective and it says walls damaged, door damaged, garrison under attack, it's just like more information than just a pair of crossed swords saying that, oh, hey, there's combat happening here. So, yeah, and then the veteran creature events that Mithrin's talking about, yeah. You're going to have to timestamp this as random WvW talk.
No, I mean, it's spawned from the guild chat thing, but yeah, we'll probably have to say.
But I don't like accompanying NPCs. Like, those events are supposed to get you NPCs that do something. Give us NPCs that do something.
But honestly, I know in the end, and I think I've said this lots of times offline, is I don't envy the systems team that has to help work on this, War v World stuff, because if they probably made these changes that I would like, all the veteran War v Worlders, because heck, when they introduced a new map, people cried and moaned and blah blah blah, and they basically tried to scrap it, almost scrapped it all the way. Which, it's like, you guys are idiots. No offense. Okay, some offense. But it's, I know that they're probably worried that it's like, if we make these changes, is the War v World community just not gonna accept them, because it's not exactly how it was before, where I can just basically turn my brain off and follow a commander tag, because the commander is basically the one that's going to be the strategist, and have everybody, maybe 2 or 3 other people on the side helping out. But
it's when I talked about the labyrinth earlier when I said I'd like to see updates to the Mad King's Labyrinth because of all the new tech that they have, the new enemy abilities and everything. I honestly think WvW needs something along those lines too. I'll admit I haven't spent much time in Desert Borderlands, so I'm not 100% sure of how much that shows an upgrade over Alpine, but I know damn well that Alpine feels old in comparison to all of the new overworld maps. Like,
Which maybe that is that quality of life that's maybe happening. We don't know.
Yeah. Like, I spent a bunch of time while I was rendering Vote to Kick this past Wednesday night. I was spending time with Aaron on his stream in Verdant Brink. And Verdant Brink, there's always something going on. Like, you can do something all the time. The Alpine Borderlands doesn't have that. Like, sure, you can roam, but at the same time, a lot of your time is spent going from place to place. It's just traveling. So,
all right. I mean, I honestly didn't mind the Desert Borderlands, but maybe that's because I didn't have the World v. World mindset, or maybe the World v. World community was too stubborn to change their mindset, because it was supposed to be a different tactical strategy entirely. I mean, there were supposed to be the choke points and all that stuff, and I think a lot of the World v. World community that said that was like, no, we like to go in the circle jerk, and
nothing has tactical purpose. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't feel like anything in Alpine really has tactical purpose.
Yeah, no, I don't know what servers you guys are on, but half the time I go in, no one stays to defend. What's tactical except for righteous indignation? It's the only thing tactical towards the tick.
Like, that's the problem we were discussing, is that a lot of WvW is literally just zerg from location to location, or have a Havoc or Roamer go flip something quickly and just, I don't know. You can attack keeps from the, can't you do that from in Desert Board? Like, you can attack from the towers, but okay. You can attack from anywhere around the keeps. Are you talking about they're just hard positions for trebuchets to be? See, this is the point in time where I hate Twitch's delay, because I want to actually have a conversation with QED about this. See, I have to spend time in the Desert Borderlands to have any kind of input on the difference in design.
Well, I don't know. It was supposed to be a different design choice, but I don't know. I didn't mind it when it came out, but I wasn't hitting it as heavy because I still, it still always comes down to the tick and all that stuff, and it was just kind of.
I honestly think that the tick design is the problem.
Yeah.
WvW
is well, at least the righteous indignation that leads into the tick. I would say I want them to. I've always kind of wanted them, since they've been doing those like secret weekend things. Remove righteous indignation, see what happens.
I'd be kind of interested to see that.
Yeah, it's people will actually have to stay and clean up and not be like, oh well, it's fine for 5 minutes. So at worst case scenario, a Mesmer has to hide for 5 minutes in his keep.
Okay, see, that's what I figured Wispy is saying. What I was thinking. The towers can actually be used as launching points for siege assaults, so trebuchets. And then apparently you can't do that from keeps.
But wasn't that leading into their development? A lot of people were complaining that people were using too much siege.
That could be. I don't remember a lot of the discussion around that.
I mean, I remember leading up to that, everybody hated Yak's Bend because we use siege.
I can't believe people are hating for using part of the game mode, because that's literally the only time.
Because they were dying and they weren't.
I'll admit, I'm kind of annoyed sometimes when I suddenly go rocketing across the map and I'm like, what the hell just hit me? And then I'm like, oh, ballista bolt.
Yeah.
Mostly because it comes from goddamn nowhere, but it's kind of the point. It's funny after the fact, once I figure out what the hell happened. But see, that's again, I think that was them trying to to change, to force a tactics change. Like, I honestly think that if we end up with 3 different Borderlands maps and they rotate, every single map should have a unique strategy to it. Like Alpine, if you can siege from the towers, and that's like the push forward, take a tower, set up siege, attack from the tower, that's great. It's fine. That's actually fairly classic, European style war. I get that. Oh, arrow carts. Well, then they nerfed arrow carts, so it's fine.
Actually, honestly, and this is all experience from when I was in there, I would see a lot more like trebuchets and stuff like that on our Borderlands than arrow cards. Everybody used arrow cards horribly as like a, hang them back there and make it rain arrows. Like, I think every server is pretty much guilty of that, but I know we were always told about basically, our ballistas. And
didn't they just horrifically nerf arrow carts not that long ago too?
I think so. It's been a while,
but it's the thing with Desert. Again, I have to spend more time on it to get a feel for more of the events and everything. But I don't know. Like, maybe they were trying to change, like, force a tactics change in how people handle it. It's like, okay, so now you can't do this thing where, like, honestly, it sounds like that I'd have to look at the towers, but Dea was talking about the choke points and everything. It feels like it was more supposed to be like man-to-man fighting, and the defending team can actually utilize less people because there are choke points that they can utilize their abilities on, and utilize like arrow carts and ballista and stuff like that. Okay, so 4 against 50 plus for holding a keep. That's a little skewed, but I still think that was kind of the point for Desert.
Well, like, holding it for how long? Like, permanently? Like, you're fine for... Because, remember, with War v World leading up to it, they were saying how a small group could hold out against a Zerg for a while. It just would require resource and stuff, but there was supposed to be that kind of it. Okay, indefinitely. I personally never saw that, but like I said, I don't play War v World as often as most. So that is definitely a problem if they could do it indefinitely.
Yeah. I think that's probably what they were going with for Desert, like, to have that kind of holdout mentality. But yes, if it could be indefinite, then that's a problem. But I still think that's a good design theme. Like, that's good thematically for Desert, especially since it's all like the cliffs and everything. That's effectively what you would want to do in a landscape like that. Is you'd want to hold choke points and manage anything to knock people away. Like, that's perfect. That's exactly what that kind of war tactic would be in that kind of area. So I don't think there's a problem with that, with a small group of people holding out against a larger group of people for a longer period of time. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think that's one of the things I always hated about, say, like the oil pot above keep doors in Alpine. Like, I honestly, every time I looked at that thing, I'm like, why would you ever want to use that?
Yeah.
Because even with the mastery, it just feels like the second somebody sees your name tag attached to that oil pot, everyone just turns all of their attacks against you. And I don't think any of the skills that you can invest into the oil pot mastery would really save you from that. Because sure, like, I think it's like some kind of crazy amount of Conti damage reduction and damage reduction in general, but like, you're still got 50 people pouring it on you, and you're completely out in the open. So I just think that there's a large set of tactics that needs reworked, because it just is not conducive to the thing that WvW is trying to emulate. But I feel like this has gotten away from us.
I mean, we're still talking about all that kind of stuff, so we'll definitely have to put a separate little note in there for War
That was a
World
20-minute. That was a 20-minute WvW discussion in the middle of, hey, the systems team is on guild chat.
Well, like I said, we can wrap it up with, I don't envy the systems team when they have to go help and assist the World v World team for all these changes.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to everyone on that team.
I believe in you.
But let us move on from the guild chat and also World v World. And, you know, maybe you donated to Extra Life for the ArenaNet thing. Or, you know, you're feeling good about yourself. You know, reward yourself. Treat yourself. Maybe spend a little money in the gem store. Speaking of the gem store, thank you always to Dolphin.net. Check out Dolphin.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So first up, well, the only new thing that we got this week was the scaled wings backpack and glider combo for 700 gems. So it is a back piece, but also it gives you a glider item of the same looking. And still has that one drawback of, since you can't dye backpacks, you can only dye the glider, which the glider does dye wonderfully. I think it looks beautiful, but it's just weird when it's like you switch out. It's like, why did my dragon scale wings just randomly change color when they land?
I honestly just wish that they'd be able to, if you're wearing the glider and the backpack, if they could just shoot those colors over.
Mm-hmm. Though they did add a nice little effect, which I wonder if it's gonna go like maybe back to some of the other backpacks. Like I think the what is it, the crystal dragon backpack that
they're basically using the same skeleton.
Yeah, it's but if apparently when you jump, it actually does have a little flap animation, and Tolfi did capture it. You can see it right there real quick.
Yeah, I saw somebody wearing these in Verdant Brink on Wednesday night, and I was like, holy crap, those are new, and they look amazing. Yeah.
And coupled with it, you can kind of see on that video when she's showing off the glider, it kind of helps it transition well into the glider, so it's definitely nice. It's just still really weird that it's like, oh, now that I'm flying, my wings turn purple and gold, and it's like why? Oh, we really need that. We really need backpacks dyeable.
I guess I bought the Shining Blade glider, and I'd use the back piece if I could change the colors of it. Yeah. I can't even get the right colors for the glider. Like the default colors on the glider don't look right compared to the back piece.
That's odd.
So I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely pick that up for 700 gems. Like I said, I think it looks nice. It's like it can dye. You can dye the inner part of the wing and
the membrane. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's the back of it, and then the underside membrane that changes color.
Yes,
that's cool. I dig that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that they didn't abandon making new gliders and glider backpack combos when they moved from Heart of Thorns to Path of Fire.
Yeah. Which, you know, I think that's the nice thing is, at least with gliding, that's something that's always going to be useful. Like, we're always going to have gravity, at least for right. Like, maybe the story will go that, you know, we're all now in the what was it, the or what is it called, the Mistlock Observatory, and everybody just like.
Well, hey, the volcano instance when we're dealing with Balthazar.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really goddamn cool. So
yeah. So yeah, definitely awesome that they really have kept up with, like you said, with the glider stuff. But like I said, I think that's definitely one of the things that probably is always going to be a nice constant in the game. That's what I'm really curious about, is how things will transition over to the other expansions. Like, of course, you're still going to be able to use your mounts, but it's like they got to think ahead of times, because it's like, are they going to just break the next expansion? Like, are they going to have a lot of ceilings or invisible walls? Hopefully not.
You know, Hat brings up a good point too, is gliders are usable in combat.
Yes.
So you can, if you get kicked off of something, which happens an awful lot when you're in Heart of Thorns content, because the Mordrum snipers can kick. the number of times I have been launched off of the canopy in Verdant Brink.
But yeah, definitely pick that up if you want another back piece / glider. Some of the returning items to the gem store: the faux fire greaves, the faux fire mantle, and the faux fire wraps for 500 gems a piece. If you're definitely wanting that like arcane-y Ascalon kind of look, I would definitely recommend these because it's basically like shattered Ascalonian armor, kind of almost wrapped up in like arcane like ribbon, like, you know.
I recommend the gauntlets. I have them for my guardian. They die amazingly well. The particle effect is really good. The particle effect is strongest on the mantle, but that's only if you like the wax aesthetic, because there's like candles.
Yeah, I was say if you want candles on your shoulder, like what didn't they do that with a WoW Paladin tier set?
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think people despised it, but I just found it funny.
I'm not a huge fan of the shoulders. The gloves are pretty solid. I think I also have the boots, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I have all three.
You're basically wearing sandals, so if you don't like the exposed foot bit for your armor, you know, avoid the boots, but the gloves are pretty boss.
Definitely. Also, you can get the Executioner's outfit and the Lunatic Guard outfit for 700 gems apiece. Remember, they are outfits, so you can't mix and match. You can hide the helmet slot, but you know. And Executioner's outfit, I guess it's all right if you're trying to look for like an Executioner. The Lunatic Guard outfit, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is basically the flaming head one. I've really enjoyed that one, and I if you can hide the helmet slot, it also adds like a nice depth because it is like a nice heavy armor with like a vortex kind of stomach thing, and it's like it. I could definitely see that. I've used that as like just regular kind of looking.
That and the particle effects die amazingly well.
Yes, so I would recommend the Lunatic Guard outfit, or at least checking it out if you're.
Oh my God, Deo! You just recommended an outfit.
I really liked that outfit. The only downside is like you know, we always say you can't separate the pieces, or maybe switch out a helmet or something, even though you can hide the helmet slot.
Apparently, according to Aaron, you can't hide a helmet if you don't have a helmet equipped.
Yeah, I used to notice that when I was doing my key run character, because I'd always throw an outfit on so I didn't look, you know, like a noob. Right. But like, you know, I noticed it's like, since a lot of times you wouldn't have a helmet, or so with my key characters, if I made a warrior, I would always pick the helmet piece or the head piece just so I could have that option. Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately that's been there for quite some time, and it is a shame that it just doesn't, you know, equip it or unequip it or whatever. But yeah, definitely pick those up. Is there anything you would recommend? I know you were kind of leaning towards, you were saying about the wraps at least, and the mantle, if you want that candle aesthetic.
If you dig the wax aesthetic, I mean, I'm not going to judge. The Batwing, the scaled dragon wings, they're pretty awesome looking. They really are. Again, you know, the whole backpack glider dye job thing.
Yeah,
we have our gripes.
Maybe one day.
We've aired our gripes, but the animated wings, like, they're doing so much better. Like, they're half the reason I made that comment that I'm glad they didn't abandon glider development is because their gliders have gotten so much better.
My one character rides a comet, like a meteor. It's awesome. But
so they're pretty cool.
And yeah, I agree, Mithrin. It's, you know, I would like to even see it. I would ideally like to see it return to how it was at the beginning of Guild Wars 2, where basically the outfits were all separate pieces and we had our own separate like side thing. But apparently that was, you know, we wouldn't be able to do combat with them type of thing. That was their reasoning. I guess it's a coding thing. I don't know.
It's again going back to the whole editing a system that's already in place, and making sure that everything still works after the fact. It's when they say it's harder than you think, I totally believe them. and if it's something that's really difficult to modify, you kind of have to weigh the time that the developers would spend on it versus what else they could be doing at the same time. So yeah,
and
I'm
actually,
sure people. Oh, God.
I was gonna say, actually, when you're saying that, it reminds me of that's one thing that they kind of talked about in that guild chat was, they're like sitting there going, yeah, we want to make a good game, and like the one guy was saying, like, it's always awesome that feeling of when you want to have something in the game, and then you finally get the green light, like from when you talk it over with the teams and whatnot, and it's like, yes, I get to put the thing that I want, like, so it's always that cool of a feeling. But it's like, yeah, they want a great game as much as we do. And and we always see those like posts of like, ArenaNet, the devs don't care about us. They're just trying to get their page, blah, blah, blah. It's like, or, whatever the reasoning that they pull out of their head.
To be fair, they want to get paid. So they have to make a successful product. I really don't understand why people find that an insult.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, they want to make money. They have to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, as a developer, I know I want my product to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, you can't just half-ass a project and throw it out there because it's what people are clamoring. You can't, the internet is made of millions of people. The dev team is made of what? They have 150 people total at the company?
Something like that. But yeah, they're all divided on different things. So it's not like,
they're not even like, that's just the developer force, right? That's not support staff and everything.
I believe so. I don't remember the last count.
Like, still, it's 100, even if it's 150 devs, it's 150 people versus the hundreds of thousands of players. Like, they can't keep up with player requests like that. It's just not feasible. So they have to, take what's at the top and work their way down. Is that like total, like support staff and everything included, Mithrin? Because I've never looked into their actual numbers. So
yeah, I thought last time that was like kind of like all of ANET, like, which,
well, they can't just be all developers.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's all that'd be insane.
I mean, I'd imagine them to be a 300 to 400 person company.
Yeah.
All things considered, because my company's about 350 people. Moderately successful.
I think if that's 400, they're still classified as a small business.
Yeah. Weird how that works, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust. Now we're getting to real random nerdy stuff, but yeah. For people that don't know, in the U.S., I think you have, it's like under 500 people, I think, is still classified as a small business, which 500 people is a lot.
Exactly, Fox. That's, yeah, not all of the devs are working on exactly the same thing. And not all of the devs have the same experience working on things. Like, if you have somebody who's a UI designer, they can't do class balance because they're a UI designer.
What are you talking about? You're not saying they're like, they walk in next week and go, all right, guys, all 150 of you, it's just gem store gear. We're going to bang it all out for the next year. Just this whole week. And then
it's like when they release the trailers for the Living World, there are complaints in the comments like, why are you spending your time making these trailers when PvP balance sucks? And it's like, so the people making this trailer should balance PvP. Do you realize that would probably be worse?
I was to say, can they actually do that as like a joke? Like, next April Fool's joke, they have like, I'm not doubting their ability, but like have like Carl, who does the balancing and stuff, or is now on the systems team and stuff like that. I want him to do the trailer with like no assistance from like the actual like, but I want to see like a YouTube video of like a two-way mirror of like the guys that actually make the trailers going like, oh God. But yeah, make my preferred profession able to kill everyone. Yeah, oh God, I love the internet. It takes all kinds of people.
Now, admittedly, there are people on Reddit who do offer really good suggestions, but the problem is you have to find that amid the pile of people who just want to be overpowered.
And funny enough, they actually bring that up in the Go chat, is like, they like to hear, criticism and stuff like that and like people's thoughts, but be nice about it, and that realize that you're saying this to another individual, even though there's a screen or something in between. You're not really maybe seeing them. You're just typing text.
You're still actually talking to a person.
Yes. Like, don't be a jerk. Yes.
Raid team. Oh my God, Fox. It's raid team does PvP balance. Story dev do raid balances. Trailer devs make a new raid. Yep, I dig it.
That would be amazing. That would probably be horrible for a company, but that would be amazing.
And Wispy, you're right. Throwing more devs at a project makes it go faster. No, because nobody thinks about onboarding. Like, you have to get someone into a project. You have to bring them up to speed. You have to make sure they're working with the right team. And it's just like, I ended up as a project manager for a website once. Wasn't part of my pay grade. That was not a good project. But it's not easy trying to manage all of those resources. So yeah, just throwing more devs at it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of talented people at ArenaNet, but you know, while they like to experiment and maybe try different things, they kind of stay in, you know, what, like you said, we're not gonna have the raid team do the trailer. Like, they might assist, be like, hey, this might be a cool shot, but they're not gonna be like, you know, but you know, so a lot of talented people at ArenaNet. And you know, speaking of talented people around, you know, which ways?
Oh, good. That was a good one.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way. Next up, we got Community Corner, and basically all the stuff. We try to grab the stuff around the community, like different people in the community that are doing stuff. So this week, we have the beginnings. You might have just saw them, I think, tweeted out earlier, and also Arena tweeted it out. Was the Guild Mag annual. So for people who aren't familiar, Guild Mag pretty much been a pretty long staple of kind of the Guild Wars 2 community, and kind of like a news site, and like, you know, had like blog posts and stuff like that. But we talked about them in the past. I don't think it's any surprise for someone that's been around here. But every year around right around the holiday, like December holidays, they release the Guild Mag annual, which eventually you can get it digitally, but this one's kind of for the physical one, which I'm sure when Age comes back, he'll hopefully finally have his to show off, because I think last year that was the thing where he never showed off the previous ones. But they are excellently, you know, crafted. They're really high quality, but the great thing about it is, you know, it always goes to a charity, and actually this year's charity is to support World Child Cancer. And I know ArenaNet is actually, or is it ArenaNet's Twitter thing, or was it Guild Mags? I'm trying to remember. One of them was having a thing. Oh, it was Guild Mags, but ArenaNet's sponsoring it. Is if you retweet their tweet, you have a chance to win 400 gems, which we'll throw the link in chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, of course, the link will be down in the description. If you can retweet that, the winner will be chosen October 16th to maybe win 400 gems. But, you know, while you're at it, you know, so maybe buy the Guild Mag Annual. It has a lot of stuff from creators. It's, you know, awesome. Right now, a physical magazine looks like it's $14.99 US, so, you know, and beautiful artwork, simply amazing. I just
they do quality stuff. It's good. I find myself kind of surprised because I missed the whole, you know, 400 gem giveaway for people who retweet and share it, and I'm just like, I just wanted to help get more eyes on it because I need to get my own copy of it, and it's just like, oh.
I know. I kind of felt like it's like I wanted, like, because we like to, you know, on the Talking Skritt Twitch or Twitter, we like to retweet like that kind of stuff and like anything that Arena. But I'm like, I want to tweet about it, but our luck, we'd get picked, and I'd be like, could you go re-roll it or something? Like,
we could just give it away on our show. Give the code
no,
away.
I don't know. That always feels weird, like
It's
winning
fair.
something and then it's like
Giving it away again. Yeah.
Yeah, but. Hopefully we won't win, so you guys can. That's why you guys need to go and retweet it to lower our chances.
Make us lose.
Yes. Won't you please make us losers? But no, and like I said, while you're at it, definitely pick it up, and maybe when Age is back, he can show the previous year's versions and show that, you know, maybe you can get a better look at how high quality it is, because and that's the biggest problem is I don't think the pictures or videos do it justice, but it definitely looks nice. But anyway, so definitely check that out. Also remember, Kit is actually doing her legendary contest. We're slowly marching towards that. Her 20 legendary giveaway, and I'll throw that link in chat.
It's a lot of legendaries, man.
Yeah, and remember, it's 5 on Twitch, 5 on Reddit, 5 on Twitter, and 5 on the Guild Wars 2 forums. And you can enter each method, but you can only win once. So if you have 4 chances, but you can only win 1 time out of that. So, and that will be drawn on December 24th. But yeah, definitely check that out. The last day to enter is December 1st. So we're getting ever closer to that. Make sure to check it out. Go support Kit and her. All I can say is her crazy. Like, I know she's been busting her butt to get these legendaries and stuff. So hats off to you.
Yeah, really.
Also, we talked about. Oh, go ahead.
As he leaves his hat on.
I tipped it. I went like this. Here, I'll do this. Hats off to you. Because my hair's probably
he actually has an afro that he hides.
Yeah, I had to go back down real quick before I went. Pff.
It's actually a bag of holding that he wears as a hat.
That'd be awesome. Anyway, last week we talked about it a little bit again, but the Mighty Teapot's amateur rating party. Remember, that is November 10th, 17th, and 18th. Basically, the goal is to clear to the finish, including the Mythrite Gambit. So over 20,000 gold, over a 20,000 gold pot. Even the non-elitist rating part of their kind of guild thing, competitors are allowed to enter. So anyone off the streets can try to go out. 16 teams with the first round being qualifier for prizes. So if you even make it in the first step, you're pretty much going to get something out of it, which is pretty awesome. I'll throw that in chat in case we have any raiders out there that want to give that a go. And also, once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, that link will be in the description. But yeah, any thoughts on the raiding party or
more content in the community, like A+. Like, it's and anytime I see something like, and this is honestly getting the like they say, amateur rating party. I think the whole point of this is to show that rating is really not that crazy of an entry. Like, you can just get a whole team of new people and work your way through this. So it's really not that super crazy. Yeah, sure, you're probably going to have to buckle down and change the way you play a little bit, but that's kind of like literally any game mode where you're trying for speed. But
yeah, like Jim is saying, whether you're an avid raider, maybe you're a new raider, wouldn't that be great if, like, one of the first times you go raiding and maybe you win something? Wouldn't that be a good incentive to keep raiding? Be like, man, if I would have got, if I had more time and got better, I probably would have been first place.
It's also, not like I have any horses in this race, since I argued keep on rating for Vote to Kick this past Wednesday. It's up on our YouTube channel.
Where would that be?
Twitch.tv/tinfoil table flips. Or just search Mad Realms, 2 A's in the Mad.
I'll say, I think should be YouTube/Mad Realms now.
Is it Mad Realms now? Did we fix that?
It should be. I hope so. I really hope that's not happening right now. But
no, YouTube.com/Mad Realms.
Okay. Or you can always just go to our website, madrealms.com, where we kind of try to post up everything there. Eventually. We're still trying to make that more of a tighter turnaround window.
Automatic process.
Yes. As automatically as we can make it. But wow, I'm already doing the outro plug, and we haven't, we are wrapping up, but yeah, definitely do stick around. Yeah, that is it for this week. Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MelFanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MAADrealms every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Vote to Kick at 7 o'clock, and then Zero to Hero, our ranked Guild Wars 2 PvP shenanigans. After that, it's usually 7:30-ish. Vote to Kick's not a super long show, so hope to see you all
never
there.
as long as this, hopefully, unless it's a really great debate.
That's a different format, and then that would be the
Yeah.
just make it the whole 2 hours for that night then.
But yeah, it's definitely a smaller or shorter format, and that's on purpose. So definitely check that out. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. Well, mostly on Twitter. Twitch, I'd like to stream more. Hopefully someday we'll find the time. But yeah, if you are just popping at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of an after show. Maybe I'll tell my horror story of moving someone else. Among other things, kind of more free form. So we could continue to talk about Guild Wars 2. We could talk about whatever new game has come out or expectations of a new game coming out. Red Dead or something. Who knows? Anything's sky's the limit. But yeah, if you, like I said, if you want to watch this on full, we do clip this on Twitch. If you want to watch this on YouTube, it's a preferred platform. Just go to youtube.com/MAADrealms, 2 A's in the MAAD, or just search MAAD Realms or Talking Skritt should pop up for you. That goes up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and right at the same time, if you just want to watch it all in one place, we have a little discussion section on our website, but also the audio version, if you are keen on that as well, is on our website at maadrealms.com, and that's 2 A's in the MAAD, of course. And that is it for this week. Thank you everybody for hanging out, and we'll see everybody next time. Take care. Bye.
Good night, friends.